All right, so this sketchbook is from Maui, August 2019. I went to Maui for 3 weeks, and I actually have a bunch more sketches as well from Maui, so a lot to talk about in this episode, so let's get into it. So this first one, this is the view from a red sand beach on East Maui. Super epic. This was one of the first places I went to. So yeah, this was a really crazy water, man. Really epic. You definitely want to check out the episode. If you haven't seen it, the Plein episode of this one, it's just super epic spot. But my painting didn't really capture it as well as I could have. You know, I tried to capture some waves crashing on these rocks, but I just did not capture the energy. I captured some of the colors and stuff, but also this is the first sketchbook I ever done that has like these rough edges rather than tape. I decided to be a little more free with this sketchbook. It was interesting. It was hard to get used to at first. I didn't really like how it looked, but as time went on, I kind of got used to it. It took a few paintings for me to get used to it. This next one is also kind of southern Maui, and this is a little island off the coast at a really cool beach. But this was just really epic scene. You could see the color of the water here. It's just incredible. Incredible colors you get here. The greens as well, so bright, vibrant. Everything is just so saturated. So that's something I wanted to capture. I really wanted to try to get those colors. Trying to capture something that's unique where I visited. You know, this little island off the coast seemed really cool, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give that a shot. So that's what I did there. And apparently there's some legend, you know, there's some like legend that some guy ended up planting some a coconut tree on the top of the island to like remember his son or something. And there were a few coconut trees up there, so it was pretty cool. So I wanted to make sure I added that little bit up there. So now this is West Maui. This is where I stayed most of the time. And the ocean here is a lot more calm. It's easier to swim and stuff in this ocean. And this is the island of Lanai. It's right across from Maui. So that's something I saw a lot. So it was cool to kind of capture that view of that and some of the sailboats there. Just trying to get used to this sketchbook at the very beginning of the trip, and I'm still trying to figure out how to paint waves, something I kind of struggled with for a while. But as my sketchbook progresses, I feel like I got a little bit better at it. This is an early morning. This is actually a different island. This is not Lanai, this is Molokai. So the last painting, I was actually like over here somewhere looking this way, and this time I'm looking north, up the coast of Maui here. Early in the morning, so you're getting this light coming in from the side. And this was the first painting I've ever used wax resist, and I used it right on the trees here, just a little bit, adds a little bit of texture, and I just something I wanted to try out. So that was pretty cool, and I liked the effect that I got. And I played around with the format, since I realized I didn't have any tape, and when I was doing the sketch I had to kind of draw it a few times because I really wanted to get a lot of this island in there as much as I could. And I realized I had to go more of a panorama format. So it was kind of cool not having the tape there, really solidifying the borders of my sketchbook. I was able to do a sketch that's more of a panorama format. So I really enjoyed that one. And I think some of these I just kind of went too far. I went all the way to the edges, which, it is what it is. These are some shops right on Front Street in Maui, in Lahaina. That's the town I stayed in, really cool town. But they have all these colorful shops, and that's what I wanted to capture. And if you've ever been to Lahaina or Maui, you definitely know exactly where this is. This is like a Dole Whip shop, like for pineapples and stuff. Yeah, this was early in the morning trying to capture some interesting color harmonies there. I think I did it pretty well. I think the perspective is a little bit funny, but I was going for the colors. I was trying to keep it loose. And I did this one the same morning, I believe, right after that previous sketch. This is the banyan tree in Lahaina. It's one of the biggest trees, takes up a whole block of this town. And all these things that are hanging down end up around the rest of the tree, end up creating these other trunks. So this whole tree just branches out, and there's all these different trunks that are connected. It's an incredible tree. Definitely look up a banyan tree in Lahaina, or just a banyan tree in general, and just an amazing tree. So I knew I had to capture this. Very shady under here, not a lot of light. Little specks of light here coming through, but not much. And I really like the color harmony overall. It's kind of interesting. But one thing that really bothered me about this painting, the whole time I was trying to do this painting, literally every few seconds there were just flies landing on me, and it was so annoying. It was just one of the most annoying experiences I've ever had doing a painting, and luckily it came out well, but it was, yeah, it was so annoying. This might be one of my favorites in the sketchbook, one of the best that I did. So these are some of the mountains near Lahaina and Maui. Really incredible view. I saw these every day. This is actually a view right from where I was staying in my apartment, like in the parking lot. So it was just like an incredible view I could see every day. So I definitely knew I had to paint it. And very rarely, actually it was always kind of sunny like this, but there's always clouds there no matter what. This is like one of the top 10 wettest spots on Earth. So there's just always precipitation. There's always clouds there behind it. But luckily I was able to capture some nice sunlight on there. Got a real nice effect of distance as well, adding in these little foreground trees that were really there. So yeah, that's one of my favorite. Just love the color harmony. This is kind of a historic hotel in Lahaina. It's been there for over 100 years, so I thought I'd give that a shot, but not exactly happy with how this came out. Very challenging, very difficult painting. I tried to keep it loose. I was trying to keep everything kind of loose, and I kind of overworked it a bit. Very early morning light, so there's a lot of contrast here. I think I just overworked it altogether. You can tell I tried softening some of this, using a lot of water. Just tried to soften some of these areas, try to get more focus on this light area, but not exactly happy with how this came out. Some of the balcony here is just I went too much with it. And also the trees in the background are kind of just evenly placed in the background. Didn't really notice I did that. It was kind of an unconscious thing. So not the best composition, but glad I gave it a shot at least. It's a good memory. I remember painting it. So now this was a cloudy day, early morning cloudy day, and this was very rare. This only happened like one day out of the 3 weeks I was there. So this is Lanai, that island that I painted earlier. And usually there's always clouds over this island. And I got there early in the morning. It was completely overcast, but there were no clouds above this island. And I was like, okay, I want to capture this moment. And also this harmony. Because when you think of Hawaii, or at least when I think of being in Hawaii, I never think of it looking like this. I never think of it looking so grim or gray. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, this is beautiful to me. Most people may not see this as being beautiful, but these kind of gray days can have their own beauty. And that's something I wanted to capture. I think it's a really cool color harmony. And so I did this one, and then right afterwards I did this one. And this is the mountains that I painted a few paintings back. And we can see the difference here. So here is it cloudy, completely cloudy, overcast. And then there's it sunny. So the same exact subject, but two completely different times, different days, different color harmonies, totally different things happening. So yeah, I think it's a lot of fun just painting the same thing in different times of the day and different situations. I think it'd be a cool idea to fill up a whole sketchbook like this, like a 15-page sketchbook, painting the exact same view of something, but at different days, different times, and just seeing all the differences. So this is those colorful shops on Front Street, but just looking straight at them. And I tried my best to keep it loose, keep it fun, and just focus on the colors a bit and just be loose with the architecture, have some fun lines and stuff. Yeah, I think not much to say about that one. It's pretty cool. This is a very interesting sketch. So it's hard to tell what exactly is going on if you don't really know. So this whole thing over here is actually it's hard rock, but it's actually lava. It's a lava feature. It's this big thing that juts out into the ocean, and you can walk and hike on it. I've walked way out here. And this is the ocean crashing up against it. I used some wax resist to get some texture, try to play around with that. But it's called dragon's teeth because there are these lava rock features growing up on the sides here. It looks like a jaw of a dragon or something with these jagged rocks. So, and there was so many rocks and things happening here. So this was a lesson or a challenge in simplifying. And I really focused mostly on cools and warms. But you can see it's very subtle. You know, it was very gray, but I tried to just focus on bringing a lot of the tension in this painting, or the line work and stuff, bringing it toward over here, you know, directing the attention there, kind of where this thing is jutting up against this horizontal line and the ocean crashing. So that's kind of the idea with this one, but I can see how if somebody was looking at this, they may have no idea what it is. But it's just a lava feature, just some rocks against the ocean. And it was just amazing colors that day. So I feel I did pretty well with capturing, with not overworking this one. That was one of my big challenges, you know, putting in some of these lines and all these things. I was very careful, and I'm glad I stopped when I did, because I kind of left blank space here and down here. Like, I didn't want any of the tension coming down here because there were so many rocks and dark areas over here, but I wanted all the contrast to be in this area. So that's what I really focused on. So I'm happy with how this one came out, pretty happy. This is the island of Lanai. So I actually went to the island of Lanai for a day on a snorkeling trip. It's pretty cool, like a little snorkeling tour boat and stuff. And this is the bay that I went snorkeling in. This was the first time I ever went snorkeling, so I thought it'd be a cool, quick sketch to capture. And I had about 10 or 15 minutes to capture this before, after snorkeling, but before the boat left to go back to Maui. So I was doing this very quickly, and they were like, come on, we're leaving. And I like had to hurry up and pack up my stuff. But this is probably one of my favorite sketches in the entire sketchbook. Just with the way I captured the colors, like all the values are just spot on. The colors are amazing. Like I feel like I really just captured exactly what was there, the mood, like everything with it is just spot on, I feel, for me. So pretty happy with this one. This is another favorite of mine for an obvious reason. When you just look at it, it just looks so really cool. This gradient I was able to get, I got so lucky. So this is the highest point on Maui. This is at the top of the volcano there, Haleakala. And I went up there, watched the sunset, and just incredible colors in the sky. And this bottom purple layer here is actually clouds. So when you're on the top of this volcano, you're actually above the cloud layer up there, and you watch the sunset. And this is the observatory up there that they view like the stars and galaxies and all kinds of things. So I thought that was a really cool subject, something different. And you can just see the warmth of the sun setting on this observatory. And I had to stop painting this. I think this took me about 10 minutes or so, really quick, had to be very fast. I actually had to stop painting because it ended up getting so dark outside and there was no lights where I was painting that I couldn't even see the colors I was mixing anymore. So I was really just guessing. I did the sky first, and then I was just painting this all dark, and I had no idea what color I was putting down. I was just completely guessing. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really a lot of fun. And this is the last painting in this sketchbook. Some sea turtles from life. And here's a few other ones here, but my main focus was on this one sea turtle. But on the beach here, up on the beach, there was about 45 to 50 sea turtles. And I know that because there was a kid next to me sitting there counting all of them. And you could definitely tell there was a lot of sea turtles. And this was in the evening as the sun was just setting. This park I was at was about to close. So hurried up, did this painting. And I really love the harmony I was able to get here with the color of the ocean, the purples, the subtle greens and grays. Really cool. I got to paint some turtles from life, and it was just an amazing experience. So I hope you guys enjoyed that sketchbook, but we got some more here to go through, so hope you don't mind. We can kind of run through these pretty quickly. So I ended up buying these in Hawaii because I realized I was there for 3 weeks, and I knew I was going to fill up this whole thing eventually. So before I filled up this sketchbook, that other sketchbook, I ended up buying these other ones, and I just started doing some more paintings. I started doing some sunsets every night. This was the first sunset I painted in Maui. Really amazing. It was really cool. Some sailboats and stuff, just incredible. Just some more sunsets here. Of course, another sunset. This actually isn't the sunset. It's actually kind of looking away from the sunset, but it's just an amazing kind of color harmony. I wanted to capture that with the boats and everything. This was much after the sun went down. But the sky was just this incredible red color, pinkish red color. And that's what I really wanted to capture, was just this pinkish red color. I kind of ruined it with these dark clouds in front of it. This one I could barely see what I was doing, but I knew I wanted this strong, really strong red. And I think I really captured it. And I'm really happy about that one. Kind of a bland sunset attempt there. You know, there's a few duds here that aren't that great, but I gave it a shot, you know. That's probably one of my favorite ones. Really love the subtlety, the grays here in this sunset. Another favorite of mine is sailboat in the harbor here in Lahaina in Maui. Really cool, man. Really cool sailboat there. That's probably one of my favorite ones. So I was waiting for the sun to go down, and there was a pine palm tree behind me. So I decided to kind of do a quick sketch of the palm tree against the sky, and I had to stop because I realized the sun was already setting and I wanted to paint the sunset, so I ended up stopping painting that one kind of in the middle. More sunsets here, kind of a light effect, pretty cool. Really bad sunset, or after a sunset. There was the sky just seemed really green, and I wanted to try to capture that, but did not really come out that well. One more Hawaiian island I was able to capture. This one's Kaho'olawe. This is an island that's uninhabited. It's kind of a deserted, destroyed island. So that's unfortunate, but it was really cool to like try to paint as many Hawaiian islands around me that I could see. So that's kind of what the focus was on this one. And this is actually the beach that I did a surfing lesson at a few years ago when I first went to Maui. So that was actually cool to paint there. Another sunset, of course. And I got into some architecture. So there's some really interesting architecture around this little town. A lot of Asian Buddhist type of mission buildings and structures. So I wanted to capture that because when I think of Hawaii, I don't think of this kind of architecture being there. So I was like, that's cool. It's kind of a cool history. And I wanted to just put that in these kind of sketchbook that I have. So that's one of like the temples, the mission building. And this building is actually how they're situated in real life. So this building is here, and then right to the other side, looking at it kind of like this, is this building. So I painted them kind of together. I think they were different days. These are right next to each other, and this is kind of a pagoda type of style building, of course. So these were a lot of fun to do, and I feel like I got a lot of practice with doing architecture. And here's another mission building in town. Really love this color, and they have these colorful flags out there. I got really lucky one day that they had these colorful flags out there, and I was like, that's perfect. I got to paint it right now. So that's what I did, and pretty glad I did that. And this is another mission temple, Buddhist temple, I believe. The Hongwanji temple. Painted this early in the morning. Pretty cool. I actually had a guy come up to me right as I was finishing this, and we ended up talking for like 45 minutes afterwards. Really nice guy, so it was really cool. Pretty cool to connect with someone like that. My first nocturne ever. I painted this using a flashlight from a cell phone that my girlfriend at the time was holding up for me. This is a restaurant right on the ocean. They have these torches. So I was like, this is going to be a cool painting. I probably should have gone a lot darker on stuff, but I really like the color harmony. It's kind of cool. You can really see the warmth of the kind of light here, of the street lights and of the torches. So that's what I was trying to really focus on. But that was definitely challenging to do. Architecture along with it being at night and the ocean, and yeah, just really hard. But that's pretty much it. This last one was just a drawing that I did. I was gonna paint this, but I didn't get time to do it. This is an old courthouse in town, and that's one I wish I would have painted. These are kind of the pillars, but I didn't get a chance to paint it, unfortunately. But that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, all these sketches. I think there was like 33 sketches in all, so longer video, but I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all these, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace, my friends.